Hello there friends, CSGO Live here. In today's video, the first matches of Blast Bounty playoffs, the skin-related controversy, roster changes in Mouz, and a bunch of other exciting updates from the world of CS2. So without further ado, let's get straight to it. And I think we shall kick things off with an update from Valve. The developers decided to make life harder for dataminers and news outlets by simply shutting down the DPR branch, which used to contain pre-release builds for developers. Basically, because of this, the dataminers can no longer access notifications about upcoming updates. It's a bit of a bummer since, for example, we knew about charms long before they were officially released, but on the bright side, there'll be fewer sleepless nights waiting for updates or a new battle pass. Or, you know, less kind of fake or misleading things, like customizable shoes or Danger Zone 2.0, well, you get it. Although, that said, it doesn't completely rule out finding updates buried in the code itself. HLTV has published a small update to their ranking system, specifically explaining how clutches impact player ratings. So, what's changed? Now they include clutches where a defuse was completed, clutches where more than one player survived, and clutches where the opponent survived. However, clutches with the defuse only count if there was just one CT alive at the start of the defuse. Similarly, T-side clutches won't count if more than one T was alive when the CT had a chance to start defusing. Sounds a bit complicated, right? But anyways, the goal is to reduce the influence of randomness or semi-randomness in clutches on the rankings, so it's kinda okay, I guess. Now, before telling you the next piece of news, we want to emphasize that we strongly condemn and do not support the use of offensive skins or any behavior that promotes hate speech in the gaming community. I think you probably guessed where I'm gonna talk about right now. So recently, during an ESL Challenger League match between 9pandas and M0NESY, a huge issue arose involving a skin. One of 9pandas players used a Deagle skin that had the N-word written on it. Yes, that's right, the N-word itself. In an official match, someone from the community noticed this and called it out, and the post quickly went viral. Both ESL and the player, as well as his organization, responded. So according to the player, he had recently purchased the skin, and he didn't notice the N-word because he plays with a left-handed view model, which mirrors the stickers, so you can't basically see what is written. 9pandas confirmed that the skin was indeed purchased recently, apologized to the organizers and the community, and promised to double-check their players' skins, which honestly sounds pretty hilarious. As for ESL, they decided to temporarily ban the player from their league. Initially, Krad received a 2-week suspension, which was later extended to a month. This means that we won't see him in ESL matches until almost March. By the way, our Twitter followers saw this piece first. There we share a ton of extra info that doesn't always make it into our videos. To follow us on Twitter, just use the link in the description. And of course, to support our channel, don't forget to drop a like and say something in the comments below. Thank you, and let's move on. Speaking of cancellations and bans, Starladder's Season 19 has recently been called off. This legendary tournament organizer had announced the league's return not so long ago, but unfortunately the first event had to be cancelled right away. And the reason? It's pretty simple, the Austin Major. Its dates partially overlap with those of Starladder, meaning most pro teams would just prioritize preparing for the major over participating in their tournament. Kinda disappointing start for Starladder's comeback, but understandable given the circumstances. But then they announced that they are just moving the tournament to summer, so I guess we still will have it. Speaking of tournament organizers, Blast have revealed the location of their upcoming Rival Series tournaments, and it's not the usual Copenhagen, it's Mexico. The exact reason for this choice isn't entirely clear, but it could be to avoid visa-related issues. One thing's for sure though, Blast knows how to deliver a top-tier tournament with no matter the location. Now my friends, no offense, but I dare you to name one single Mexican CS2 player in the comments below, and please, no cheating. Anyways, I really love what Blast does with their tournaments because they hosted events in Lisbon, Paris, Copenhagen, Singapore, and other huge and pretty interesting cities. So I guess this year it's time for North and South America. Best of luck to them. Now to one of the hottest topics of the episode. Siuhy benched by Mouz. Wait, what? Yeah, that's true. Mouz managed to avoid any roster changes during the reshuffle period, only to make a huge move right before a $1 million tournament. And one of the most prestigious ones in the year. That's right. So, according to the organization, this decision was due to differences of opinions within the team, obviously. The player himself explained that the team just lacked out-of-game communication and the roster no longer felt like it used to. Most players simply didn't interact outside of practice sessions. And guys, can you imagine, in just like 15 hours, Mouz announced S1MPLE'S as their new player, with Brolin being the new IGL of the team. Interestingly, rumors suggest that about 3 weeks ago, Mouz was already looking to sign S1MPLE'S, but at the time they were planning to replace Brolin. And here's how it turned out in the end. Many believe this sudden move signals serious communication issues within Mouz, or perhaps a major off-game scandal that forced the change. Maui Snake even compared it to the infamous benching of CB from ANS when Sergey gave the organization an ultimatum. It's also possible that Mouz had been planning to part with Siuhy for a while, but they simply overvalued his buyout clause, so no other team basically had the money to sign him. And the saddest part here is that Siuhy signed a long-term contract with Mouz in 2023, meaning he might remain benched until his price drops or simply for a couple of years. However, Londers may have already found him a new home. The analyst suggested Siuhy to strengthen Astralis or Liquid. And honestly, he's so right. I mean, both of these teams need an IGL. Whether Siuhy himself would want to join such teams, though, remains unknown. For now, all we can do is just speculate about Mouz's new lineup and wait to see where Siuhy will land next. Saying what happens to FaZe Clan, I kinda wish that he moves there, but I don't know. Anyways, it won't happen until the summer break. Also, share your thoughts in the comments below and suggest a team for Siuhy. Guys, you also might remember the rumor where Jimp had stayed with Mouz only because M0NESY didn't transfer to Falcons. Well, as it turns out, Ilya wasn't as close to joining the Sheikh's team as many believed. He confirmed this himself. So, could Siuhy benching somehow be linked to him staying in the roster? Who knows? What we do know is that you shouldn't trust insiders 100%. Ilya also shared that he was deeply upset by Nico's departure. He had known about it before the major, but didn't fully process it at the time. He basically said in an interview that when he looked at Nico the last match they played together, he couldn't hold the tears. He didn't want to cry because he didn't want to look weak, but he couldn't do anything. And it's honestly heartbreaking, knowing all the context between these two. But despite the sadness, M0NESY expressed his gratitude to Nico for helping him grow, not just as a player but as a person as well. Now let's talk about S1MPLE and money. Recently, the rumored loan fee for S1MPLE at Falcons caused a stir. So according to Passion UA's coach Kane, Falcons were allegedly paying $500,000 per month just to have S1MPLE on loan. Considering the value of his contract, this figure seems fairly believable. However, the CEO of Falcons later denied the claim, but didn't disclose the actual amount. Guys, should we believe him? I think no. Anyways, the real figure remains a mystery. Now let's take a break from the news and dive into the playoffs of the first Tier 1 tournament of the year. The opening matches brought plenty of heat right from the start. The playoffs kicked off with a clash between Heroic and Spirit, and the action started on Anubis, Heroic's pick. Spirit won the pistol round, and it initially seemed like the Dragons would have no trouble with Heroic. But then something broke in Spirit's defense. Heroic just took control and won 5 rounds in a row, with their players slipping behind enemy lines as they owned the map. Heroic's new roster absolutely dominated on the T side, ending the first half with a commanding 9-3 score. After the side switch, Spirit stabilized and brought it to 10-6. That's when Shiro decided to remind everyone why he's one of the best players in the world, pulling off a quadro kill to win a tough round for the team. That moment seemed to ignite the Shanghai Major champions, as they didn't drop another round for the rest of the map. Anubis ended 13-10 for Spirit. Next up was Nuke, Spirit's pick, where the game seemed to favor them early on. They won the pistol round despite being down in numbers and followed it up with 2 more.
Here as Heroic came through with a couple, but it is still left onto S1MPLE'S. 1v2 and a lot of time ticked off that bomb. Well handled out of Spirit.
But then S1MPLE'S stepped up, denying a bomb plant and clutching a 1v3, which allowed Heroic to tie things up with 2 more rounds.
He can deny it. 5, 4, S1MPLE'S dropping in a ramp. Magic's only just getting it planted as S1MPLE'S snipes the round out from under Spirit.
However, Magix wasn't about to let this slide. Showing why he's the Major's EVP, he delivered an incredible ace, which completely stunned Heroic. And after that, Spirit just didn't lose a single round, and that was it, 13-3. Although the result wasn't as flashy as the first map, Heroic demonstrated they can surprise, even with a new lineup that wasn't expected to deliver much. It's also worth noting that Spirit is playing without a coach, because Holy has some health issues and he's not with the team in the city. Another cool match was BB team against G2. Both teams made roster changes during the offseason, but BB had to bring in M0NESY and Kairon because of visa issues. The match started on Anubis, BB team's pick. Right from the pistol round, G2 went for a mental edge, with Snacks knifing M0NESY. While it didn't secure the round, it certainly delivered a psychological blow. BB team managed to grab their second round only after the score was 7-1. Despite some efforts, like for example M0NESY almost pulling off a ninja defuse, BB couldn't find their footing. G2 steamrolled them, closing the first map with a dominant 13-2. Moreover, the second map, Dust 2, was G2's pick, and it started with a light-hearted tone. In the pistol round, Siren awkwardly chased M0NESY around the side as the latter simply ran away.
So you gotta get the kill, and now Heavy God can lend a helping hand just as the gun goes empty. It's ugly. M0NESY runs. Blonders, back to you.
Yes, okay, nice try, Siren. No, nice.
But by round 3, BB team were just embracing the chaos. M0NESY got a shotgun, which he used to land a jumping kill. Overall, it all felt like a show match, with players and spectators just enjoying the game. At 5-0, M0NESY channeled his inner Kukli with a clutch kill.
Jump, do it.
Yes! The headshot from M0NESY denies.
Could have planted safe in that position.
And in the second pistol round, Heavy God joined the fun by landing headshots through smoke like a human aimbot. But the fun didn't last long. G2 quickly regained control and dropped the map 13-3. BB team sent packing. And that's all for today, dear friends. Thank you for watching. We will cover the rest of Blast Bounty matches in the next videos, so don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel, and also drop something in the comments below. I'm not saying goodbye for a long time, my friends. See you soon.